Terraria is a game that's been played well over 100 million times. A game where anything and everything has already been done over and explored. Wrong. Terraria has a lot more potential than people realize. Making bosses fight each other, killing bosses without attacking, building farms that break early game progression. There's a lot more to it. I'm Wild LMAO, and through the last year of playing Terraria for my job, I learned a lot about the game. Things most players just look right over. And I can say confidently there's so much more potential in this game. I mean, half these items aren't even being touched. So what I want to do is show off the potential of the game by playing Terraria in the most unique and impressive way possible, while 100% completing the game. This includes collecting every item in the game, every statue, painting, and vanity set, completing every achievement, filling out the bestiary, which means finding and killing every single mob in the game, including NPCs, beating every single boss, mini-boss, and event. The list goes on. Alright, so welcome to my new series. And yes, this is going to be a series, not just a one video thing. Because I'm not sitting down playing the game for 3,000 hours and then uploading it in one video. Even though it's been like a couple months since I uploaded, so that might be realistic. But no, this is a series, and for this first episode, I'm taking on 3 main projects. These are the first ones for today. If you can decipher what any of these mean. We're also doing some smaller things, but these are the main ones. So yeah. So when I spawn in immediately, the first thing I do is throw my copper short sword at the slime to convert it to an NPC. Go and convert that dude. And for those who didn't know you could actually convert slimes to NPCs, well, congratulations, you already learned something. But to advance in the most impressive way possible, I've determined that I need to make a machine in early game that powers the world. And to do so, I'm going to need as many natural wiring blocks found underground as possible, as well as a few important statues. And while we're down there, we're also going to need to just do basic gearing up stuff for early game, health, armor, accessories, all that stuff. So let's get started. Oh, but I almost forgot, the world settings, large world, master mode, and medium core. So I basically had to start off here just trying to overcome the fact that I'm playing master mode. Trying to find all the traps and statues needed is one thing, but just dealing with the mobs was a whole nother problem. The red slime spawns are crazy. Oh no, no. What is happening? And I was definitely gonna have my fair share of deaths. Oh my gosh. And not only was dying problematic itself, but it would cause rippling effects. This first one I was unable to see to even get down to my loot. However, a clever method of looking at my map just solved my problem until I ended up getting myself killed anyways. Is that a boulder trap? Huh? Grab my money. Okay, that's a boulder trap. Pillar statues. Sunflower statue. Buckaroonie. Venom regeneration. Now, heading further down and finding a mushroom biome is where most of my problems would actually start. Mushroom biomes are usually home to a lot of statues, traps, and just good loot overall. And combined with some of my genius tactics, this should be pretty easy to get some gear. But it wasn't, because of this guy. The prehistoric, pre-hard mode version of the tortoise. And he was giving me a run for my money. Oh, we know. Not again. I'm not gonna die to this stupid thing again. I did, and each time I died to him, I had to go all the way back just to retrieve my loot, where even more problems started happening. And this simple journey of just looking for traps and statues actually became extremely painful. Well, there's the dude that killed me. I don't have any, like, tech to use on him. Okay, I'm not even going the right way, and there's a worm. I am beyond one hit right now. Oh, I'm being murdered, dude. No! Bro, jeepers creepers, bro. Get out of here. Bro! Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Wild, you told me you were going to play extremely impressive, and now you're acting like a basic Shelly's a boss fight. And, well, that's a good point. So I used this time to set up a nice little storage area at spawn, little workstation or something, and then went to explore my world, running into the Crimson within seconds of going to the right, and then also running into a mutant spider. Oh! Not going left. Unfortunately for me though, the other side of the world also had Crimson. Yeah, this is Crimson too. So we are surrounded by Crimson right on the start. So I was kind of just screwed and decided to go back underground to collect the final statues and natural wiring. Finally, first dark crystal down there. Eat that right up. I didn't necessarily have a single statue in mind that I wanted, but I more just wanted to see what I would get, and then I'd let that dictate basically what happens in the run. Oh my goodness. 4 statues, a heart statue, a slime statue, and then we got an imp and a snail. I don't know what I could do with an imp and a snail statue. The snail statue might be good for decoration. All right, the statue collection is looking good. We even got 4 dart traps. We need dart traps as well. By the way, with the dart traps I'm collecting, I'm gonna make something like that I know no one's seen before because I literally created it myself. All right, we got a crab statue up there and 2 heart crystals. Dude! Oh my gosh, I'm insane. I went to go grab water. I do want to stop glazing myself, however, Alright guys, so I continued on mining and I got a lot of statues on my way. And also plenty of loot, a lot of heart crystals and accessories. Lava sample complete. And at one point I even took a random teleportation potion, which looking back was literally the dumbest thing I could have done. Because had I died where I teleported to, there was no way I was getting my loot back, especially because I was nearly in hell. Luckily that wasn't the case though, wasn't even close. Oh my god. And I was able to collect many explosive traps and active stone blocks, which are both made out of wire and are shimmerable, which might give you an idea of what we're actually going to use this for. You see, before you get the mechanic, the only way to actually do any wiring is to use existing wiring that's already placed underground. But unless you want to spam your head on a pressure plate and get a concussion, that's also really probably not the best way, right? But by shimmering traps and getting wires, you can actually make timers, which allow you to automate farms in early game. And we're basically going to use and abuse this mechanic to make a farm that will power the world. But just before that, if we plan to play this world for a long time, we're definitely going to need a way to actually get around easy. Right now, we don't have that. Oh gosh. So what I want to do is go collect pylons, which require NPCs. So I started by running all the way to my beach biome, and on my way running into the dungeon, which is basically a player's nightmare in medium core, because if I go down there and die, there's no way to get my loot back. But luckily I was smart enough to think of that, so I didn't go down there, and I ended up getting to the beach and collecting up the angler. And then on my way back, I start crafting houses in different biomes to get the main NPCs, the merchant, nurse, dye trader, you know, those people. For these pylons, I was also going to need the arms dealer. And most people think you have to break a shadow orb and get a gun for this dude to spawn, but you actually don't. Bro, vultures are so annoying. I feel like I'm literally the only player that knows this, but all you need is a bullet for him to move in. And it's rare, but sometimes underground you'll find bullets in chests. And luckily I did, so he ends up moving in. Oh, arms dealer arrived. So if you're ever trying to get this dude, don't even worry about getting a gun, just get some bullets. Which are only sold by him unless you find them and get lucky. Never mind. The next thing I wanted to do is get the dryad, and to get her you have to beat a boss, so I guess I'm fighting a boss. Alright, well, I have a tendon bow. We have an arena, it's nighttime. I have full platinum armor as well. So I think I'm just gonna fight the Eye of Cthulhu right now. Only I forgot I had a texture pack on, and he's actually a toenail. And to make matters worse, as the fight goes on, he ends up transforming into a second stage where the toenail rips off. Oh, another toenail rips off in his second phase. I'm sorry you guys have to look at this. Unfortunately for me, I didn't really build a good arena though, and I was getting pretty low. Oh, I'm dead, maybe. But I was able to use my grappling hook to dodge his attacks decently well. Luck, please. Yes. And we end up beating him. Oh, yeah. There we go. And for the rest of that night, I ended up using lava versus this blood moon that happened, where I didn't get anything useful, but I survived. Wait, I'm gonna die. But actually, dying was good. Because dying means gravestones, and with gravestones, you can make a biome that unlocks secret recipes. And lucky for me, I'm terrible, so I died multiple times, and I was able to get many of these gravestones. Oh, the rest of my loot. Come back. Going on a reconnaissance mission. And there we go. I just killed myself. But we only have 6. I'm not sure if that's enough for a graveyard biome. 6. Alright, we got 4. So it does, but there's no ectomist. I need one more. And there we go. And now in this biome, I was going to make 3 items that were extremely important. First, spider walls. Second, a boulder statue. And 3, the most important item of all, a shovel. Okay, the third item was actually not needed, but now the spider walls and boulder trap are going to be used for this machine I was going to make that I keep talking about. I promise we'll get there. But firstly, I did just finish up making the NPC houses and getting the pylons set up. It's by the forest pylon, jungle pylon, desert pylon, boom, and the cavern pylon. Why is the merchant in the crimson? Joseph. And then after that, I went back mining for a little bit, using some interesting strategies. Guys, the entire mushroom biome is made out of mud, so I can just... And really just increasing my statue collection. I also was using piggy banks to store my loot while I was down here, which ended up being a great idea. Oh wait, I got even more. I'm holding... Alright, and that's basically half the statues in the game, right there. But now with that out of the way, it is finally time to go find the shimmer our traps, and then make timers. And we're also going to shimmer the spider walls, which will turn into infested spider walls, which have the unique ability of spawning cobwebs. So I headed off and searched for the shimmer, and you know, it's not usually something that's very hard to find. I found it very quick here, getting extremely lucky. Oh, minecart track? I've had this go to the shimmer before. Oh, I was feeling it. Matter of fact, we had to use some pretty interesting strategies just to find it. Yo, I just gave that worm my money. And maybe he could find the shimmer for me. I'm not even kidding. You know, maybe not the most efficient methods. Start swimming around, buddy. But you know, this series isn't all about efficiency, all right? It's about creativity and discovering. You know, if he had some better money, he might be glowing more. Here, you want to take my silver?
What?
Dude, don't make me kill you by accident. Oh, he's swimming down. A boulder trap. He just saved my life, maybe. Oh, he's swimming far. Oh, he's finding the shimmer for me. Oh, Alright, so we're gonna first start by shimmering explosives, active stone blocks to get the wiring. And then we're also gonna throw these spider walls in there. It's favorited, I gotta... Boom. While I was here, I also decided to set up an NPC house for the pylon, just for the convenience of being able to teleport here. I also got a bunch of statues just looking for the shimmer, so I placed those down, and then actually went to make this machine. First thing I did is I found a boulder trap, which has a long strip of wiring naturally. Then I started blowing up the surrounding area to the right of this line, and then placed dart traps all across this wiring, which I had 19 dart traps, by the way. Absolutely crazy. I don't even know how I got that many, to be honest. Then what I do here is I have the dart traps facing spider walls, and I box the whole thing up as well as putting a boulder trap in the top left corner. Topdownchest.com for a couple minutes. He's gonna resign, yep. And then I use a timer to have the boulder trap and dart statues shoot every time they're available. And what we have now created is a cobweb farm / money farm. You see, in this world, I plan on collecting every single vanity set, which all pretty much require silk, as well as many recipes I plan on making, including endgame recipes even. So this farm's gonna generate all the cobwebs for that. Meanwhile, the dart traps will poison any enemies that spawn in here, and the boulder statue will instantly finish them off. And I basically just drive by and pick it all up. Also, a very important mechanic that makes this whole farm possible and worth it is that wiring works when you're anywhere in the world. So even if I'm in hell, space, or the beach biome, this farm will always be active because wiring is not dependent on the player being nearby. So for every single hour I'm in this world for the next however long, maybe 200 hours or something, I'm gonna be generating cobwebs permanently. And if the time ever comes where I no longer need silk for furniture, outfits, whatever, I can just sell it. Made a cobweb spider farm, just like in our one world. Use AFK and pick up all the drops right here, dude. Crazy. Look, I already have 2 cobwebs. So cool. Why are you laughing?
Why would you need a cobweb farm? Honestly.
Silk.
He sits in Terraria and finds tech.
But for now, I actually want to work on making a base. You might have noticed the NPC houses I made are completely bogus, and none of them even look good or have much of a structure at all. And you know, when I said the game had potential, I didn't just mean the mechanics, but I also meant building. So what I do is head into the deep jungle looking for a granite golem statue, as the jungle usually has a lot of statues, and the statue in particular can actually supply you with blocks. An infinite amount of them. But no, we're not building with the granite. That's
fucking disgusting.
But I'm gonna take the granite from the granite golem statue and shimmer it into marble blocks, which I will happily use. Now, the underground jungle is literally the biggest pain of my life, and I realized that right away, because after about 15 minutes of exploring the jungle, I hardly made it anywhere. Now, at the same time, I was also farming these mobs because I wanted to get the grass blade, so that might have slowed me down a bit. I was also discovering some new technology. Oh, can they not shoot while they're bobbing in the water? Oh my gosh, new tech. Until I had probably my most embarrassing moment in Terraria history. Huh? And when I was caught off guard from being an idiot, I died. Oh my, no. And I ended up spending about 40 minutes trying to get my loot back at like 3 a.m. because trying to go through the jungle is really no joke, especially when you don't have a backup gear set. Uh-oh. I need to thread the needle. 2 worms spawned on me. No. This is the most horrid situation I've ever encountered. Or I might as well go home. So I was basically torturing myself trying to find this thing. I even used a random teleportation potion trying to teleport directly to my loot. No. Didn't work, obviously. It's like starting fresh. We have absolutely nothing. This is literally a boss fight for my loot. Why do you feel the need to squirt and sit there? He thinks he can see me. But I end up getting extremely close, just having to fight this one little slime before getting my loot. And we finally get it. But we still never got the statue. So after 5 years of collecting granite in the underground jungle,
it's been a long fight.
Collecting tables, paint, palm wood, and a bunch of other random junk, we were finally ready to put our talent to work and start building something beautiful. You know, I'm making this storage system, and I'm kind of thinking like, with all the chests and them having the same colors, it might be very hard to like tell where things are. So I should probably sprinkle every other into being a normal chest. Wonder how does the crafting station's AI work? You go 2 below, it still works. 3 below? No. All right, I already like how this is looking. I like how it like goes down a bit from this area, and we can also craft everything, quick stack to anything, loot all on our piggy bank, and then quick stack. Oh, we already got a guest moving in. Guess it's not too bad, huh? All right, guys. So I got most of the shape done for this place, and I think it's looking pretty cool. As you can see, like the middle area looks pretty wonky, but I didn't want it just to be like straight housing. And then this area over here, I was thinking about making it my potion area because it also connects to this place, which I want to have water down here so we can just, you know, craft potions. Guys, I think we messed up because the shape looks a little familiar, if you know what I'm saying. So there was something I slightly overlooked when I made this, but it's all good. And I don't want to see no comments about what this looks like, okay? If I do, you're banned. Alright guys, this is the base I made, and this is me voicing over because when I finished the base, I never said anything for some reason. But yeah, we got a storage system, a area for potions, some nice windows, and marble pillars on the top. Now, is this base pushing the limits of the game and the potential of it? Not really, necessarily. But I mean, at one part, I did have to go kill bunnies for these curtains in my base, so hey, another banner. That's kind of something unique. The base checks off, I think. Also, to make these pillars up here, I actually sat down with a professional Terraria builder and learned how to do detail. So yeah, I'm happy with it.
Damn.
Yeah, you know, just, you know, the best base in the world. You know, it's nothing too crazy.
How much playtime you got on this world?
Don't ask, bro. Bro, a lot. So now I want to talk about part of the game we've not yet discussed. A very important part of the game that will lead us into what we're going to do for the rest of this episode. And that is bosses. Bosses are a huge part of the game. And if I'm going to play the game uniquely, that is also going to include killing bosses uniquely. So I made it a rule in this series that every boss I kill has to be in a unique way. Now that might remind you about how about 5 minutes ago I killed the Toe of Cthulhu in a very normal way. And yeah. I'm also killing the Brain of Cthulhu right now as we speak. And that's just honestly because I allowed myself to skip these two bosses because really just progression purposes. But every other boss in the game I am going to be killing in a unique way. Starting with the Eater of Worlds. I already had a pretty good idea of how I was going to kill this dude, and I went to my spider farm to prepare. Hey, before we do that though, I just want to say thank you for all the support recently. Since I uploaded last, I've hit 100k, which is great, but what's even better is all the nice comments I keep reading. I feel like those actually make my day like even more, and it gives me a reason to keep posting content, so thank you. Also, funny little side note, I couldn't put my full YouTube name on my plaque because LMAO is profanity apparently, which was crazy. Anyways. So this spider farm has been slightly slower than I expected, right? And I think I just realized why. Cobwebs weren't spawning in the middle of the farm and only near the edges, which made me realize there's probably a hidden mechanic in the game where they can't actually spawn in the open. So that's something we definitely gotta fix later. So now I want to beat the Eater Worlds, and my idea for doing so was using boulder statues, which I already made a video before about how boulder statues destroy the destroyer, and the Eater Worlds being the weaker version of that boss. It should just steamroll it. Our cobweb farm being like the perfect spot to use wiring, I'm actually going to fight the Eater Worlds in here. And we're going to use the cobwebs to up our defense.
What?
Yeah. Basically, as I've been playing, I've been generating cobwebs, and I have plenty of them to make multiple white strings. And if I go collect dye and dye them all different color, you can trick the game into thinking they're different items and stack 6 of them on at once. Alright, where is all my money and stuff? 12 gold, that's what we got right now. Alright, dye trader, what is up? We're gonna buy a dye vat from you. And yellow marigold, boom, needed that. Blueberries, yep, that's what I was looking for. So we have yellow, blue, and then we can buy brown and silver. What the hell are you doing over here? Now we can make colored string. Boom. Oh no, the loot's being pushed. Oh, my pickaxe. Oh, you fricker. And minus the defense we lost by taking off the Eye of Cthulhu shield, in total we gained 22 extra defense. But we're not done there. We also went to the underground desert looking for a bass statue. Oh my gosh, wait. This is a sand trap, right? All right, let me mark this on the map, which will increase it by another 5, and then we could also drink an iron skin potion, giving us another 8, which in total gives us an extra 35 defense on top of to what we already had. So it's very unlikely the Eater Worlds is going to kill us. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn this spider farm temporarily into our Eater of Worlds arena. So what I have to do is... Oh, wait. I have to break all the traps first. Now, I'm pretty sure you can just replace the blocks with platforms. Yeah, dude, look at that. You can't put a boulder statue under a platform. But if you just make the platform blocks, place it, and swap them after, then you could stack boulders, basically. And now, just to be safe, does this actually work? It does, and they all drop at different speeds, so there are different, like, areas. And by the way, to even fight the Eater Worlds, we obviously have to shimmer a bunch of crimson blocks. And I don't actually know if the crimtane, like, shimmers into the ebon stone. I'd assume it would. I mean, why wouldn't it, right? Okay, so it doesn't. Wait, so All right, so I had to go in a different world to actually mine the Ebon Stone, which got me thinking, what do you guys think the rules for this series should be? I mean, right now I'm clearly using a secondary world to get some loot. Also, later in this episode, I'm going to be AFKing for something. Should AFKing be allowed? Should I not be allowed? What do you guys think? And I think next episode, I'm going to go over some comments, or at least one. So just let me know your thoughts, and yeah. All right, we can't forget the most important thing, which is the platform that's going to keep us away from the boulders. If we forgot that, this would go insanely terrible. I kind of assume they're just going to tear right through him. Like, so theoretically, as they're all going, he's going to be like coming up and just get shredded like a meat grinder. But I don't really know. Let's turn this on. Okay, boulders are active. If we spawn the eater, this should just like destroy him. No? I'm going to spawn him. I need the boulders to come. Oh, this is huge. Wait, eater, come up. The boulders are going. He's coming. He's coming. I see him on the map. Wait, what do you... Okay, so earlier I blew up a whole area around my spider farm to try to supercharge it, increase the spawn rates inside. And now that there's no blocks below, the eater is stuck. So I had to go on an expedition to try to get him back up. We have to make a ladder for him to get up, or there's no way we can fight him even. While we do this though, we can't leave the corruption. Oh, jeepers. Oh, we left the corruption and there it is, there it is. Boulders, this is perfect. Oh, that's actually so good. It is good. And it, dude, he did like no damage to me right there. Didn't his head hit me for like nothing? His head does like 5 damage. It does he definitely does a little bit of damage. So I'm gonna be careful and not AFK this fight. Yep, come on. Yep. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Boulders. Boulders, where you at? Here we go. There we are. Okay, 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 okay. Oh, the boulders don't activate quick enough. And I'm kind of low. Come on. Come on. That's another piece. Come on, get the little guy, boulders. Get the little guy. Maybe. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. There we go. Oh, no. Guys, we're actually getting low. I should have had the boulders going at different times, if that was possible. No, you just missed it, bro. What are you doing? You're throwing. I need a patch of boulders coming. Are you serious? Come this way. Come this way. Come back. Come wait. Come back. 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 This way. This way. This way. This way. Almost. Almost. Wait, one despawned. I mean, I guess that's good, right? As long as it... No! No! No. 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 Oh, that's a problem. He despawned. That's a bit annoying. Okay, while that was all happening, though, a goblin invasion actually started coming. And not wanting these guys to kind of murder all my dudes at spawn, I actually fought them at the dungeon. Because the goblin invasion doesn't actually spawn at spawn. It spawns where there's NPCs. And there's an old man at the dungeon, so I used the dungeon as like a natural defense against these enemies. Until I bouldered the old man to death by accident. There's no way it spawns skeleton, right? Okay, it doesn't. Well, good to know, good to know. Then I fought them at the beach, which was, I mean, just as good. But now I wanted to take a break from the Eater Worlds and fight the other boss that I'm going to fight this episode, King Slime. And my plan to beat him all revolved around that sand trap I found earlier. Alright, for this fight, we're going to be taking advantage of this mechanic right here, where sand breaks on torches. And also if you step inside of it while it's doing it, yeah, you can get pretty hurt. So how big is the sand trap? So what we got to do is we got to mark it out on the map. Then we're just going to do some of this action with torches below the sand trap. And my idea is basically to mine this whole thing out, like all the way up to the surface. And then continually stack sand all the way up to like, maybe here. And then we're going to drop the trap on him and see what happens. That's literally my best idea. Also, oh, what the f... Also, to keep him under the sand, we have to be under the sand, right? Haven't thought of what we're gonna do for that. I mean, if we do this, right, and then place torches above it and we grapple right here, and we put all of our yellow string on, we could probably tank hits from him while he just dies from the sand. He does get smaller as the fight goes on, so he might be able to like slip under here, but I don't think that's gonna be a big problem. So I started mining this area out, but there was one obvious, very obvious problem. We would need an extremely large amount of sand to actually fill this thing to like the height limit, but I don't want to destroy my world. I plan on playing this world for a very long time, maybe putting thousands of hours on it. So instead of destroying my world, I came up with another clever method of getting free sand. Antlions. But how would I collect multiple of these guys to actually make a farm that will work? Because one of these guys isn't going to provide all the sand I need. So what I end up doing is going down to the underground desert, finding one of these guys, and then giving them money. Because when enemies have money, they can't despawn. He's still there. Of course, it was very unlikely the mobs would actually spawn near each other, though. But I did have a solution for that. Antlion elevator. Bet you didn't know about that. See, you're learning stuff from my videos, aren't you? Let's do a quick time lapse of this dude. Bro, look at this. They shoot pretty often, bro. I'm a little bit more of a genius than I thought. So now the only last thing to do is build an area where we can AFK and collect the sand every time the antlion shoot it. And then get off for the night and take a break. All right, here we go. I think we finally got something. We get 3 sand blocks every 2 seconds, maybe. So if you do the math, we're gonna get a lot. And I ended up AFKing a pretty long time. Alright, I just woke up from a fat nap. And I'm gonna check the sand I got. Alright. Oh shit. Oh. Alright, not bad. I need to go drink water or I'm gonna die of dehydration. Alright, so then I started placing sand for the next hour and a half about. Not exaggerating. It probably took so long because this goblin invasion though. I really should have just beat the invasion first. Also encountered some problems with some harpies.
Out of that farm.
Alright, what do I even have to retrieve my loot, bro? I could probably just tank one hit. I did. But about 800 sand later and another hour, we were done. Have you clicked on my stream yet?
Yeah, I'm watching. Oh.
I have a sand trap down here, and I built sand up to the height limit. Oh shit, I'm dying. Wait, what the heck?
Yo, what the hell?
Alright, that's new tech.
I don't know if this is tech, dude.
Go down
I have
this way.
no idea how it'll work. I swear it's gonna hit him once and then it won't hit him ever again.
Yeah.
No,
I
well, I have
think it works.
torches, so like it'll keep going. It'll keep falling.
I feel like it's just
Oh,
gonna once every 2 seconds. Oh, there we go.
Alright, I'm gonna voice this part over because the voice chat was chaos. But I switched on my waist string and jumped on my hole hoping that King Slime follows me, and he does, just, you know, getting a little bit stuck behind. Unfortunately, there was this antlion in my way and I started hitting him and then did damage to King Slime, but we'll just count that off. But it turns out I actually forgot to place the trigger to actually start the sand. Luckily, it was in my inventory, a dead man's chest, which activates wire when you open it. So I place it, King Slime's in position, and I open it. Wait, why? Where's the rest of it?
What?
It just despawned.
Oh.
And I'm dead. I'm
Projectile
done. I'm so
limit.
dead.
Projectile limit.
Oh yeah, my
Projectile
loot. The projectile limit. Imagine the montage I could have made if that wasn't a thing. And I completely didn't even think of that, and yeah. So unfortunately, that way fighting him wasn't even possible. But I did set up just a flat ramp and decided to use sand to kill him normally, having to drop each piece on him individually, and we decided to fight him that way. This is just not gonna work.
You're just gonna go up on your platform.
Alright, let me get started.
6 damage.
Oh my, come on, bro. Yeah, this is not even bad at all, bro. You should do this normally. Oh, look at that. Oh!
13.
I gotta, like, do something unique here.
Trick shot him.
Trick shot him?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you gotta do a.
Oh!
falling-
Wait, did I dash to him? Did I just dash to him and kill him? Wait, guys.
Cut that out.
my god.
So after literally 15 minutes of placing sand on King Slime, I ended up dashing into him at the very last second and stealing the sand kill. So I went to redo the fight, this time doing it in a little bit different of a method. We're in. Oh, perfectly. Oh, perfectly, dude. Although seemingly more smart, definitely more annoying for sure.
Oh. Oh, what the?
I have 1 heart. Why didn't you tell me, bro? Give me a call out.
No, you'll be fine, bro.
Oh. Alright.
Wait, don't
Oh!
flash the button. That did like 10 damage, nice.
Bro. So I went back to the original method of killing him, and after another 7 to 8 minutes, this is what happened. Guys, somebody win the fight.
Not,
Yeah, I know.
I'm blazing you.
Oh, I'm done.
Dude,
What do you do? I wasn't looking. What do you
Fallen
do?
Star killed it. Fallen Star.
No, that's funny. Keep that.
That's awesome. That's a better
That's
ending than
insane.
expected.
Just stole the kill from
That's
you.
awesome.
So we actually killed the boss with a star. Like I was saying.
Wait, Loki, does
Dude.
that mean you still have the sand open?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went back to kill the Eater of Worlds now, and the next time I fought him, he despawned, and then even after that, he also killed me.
Nah, you win these. Oh,
So I decided to try a new technique out. By combining boulders with pink gel, you can make bouncy boulders, which last a lot longer, so I wanted to see if that would work on him. Yeah, the slime mount's so nice to have now. I put probably like 20 hours into that fight, including AFK. You know, something light. I'm not playing the game uniquely, bro. I'm playing the game hard. Alright, so I don't know the AI of bouncy boulders, so I need to try it. So I can't test these too much, or we're not gonna have enough to fight the boss. But I want to see if I break this and just send it bouncing across my arena, like how many times will it bounce? I also have a zoom out mod on, so I'm gonna use that to see. Oh, look at that damage, by the way. That's 7 bounces and it's still going. 8. But I know they have a limit. I know they have a limit. Oh, okay, so I should have kept counting. That's like 12. But I've seen them use like this before, and I want to know like what happens. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, that's past 12. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's not like a bounce limit, but it's a time limit. But the time ends after a bounce. If this lasts a while, I think this is literally a better method. Like, actually. Oh, here he comes. Okay, look at that damage. That's some juicy damage. That's huge. Oh my gosh, I just realized, dude, we can't touch those boulders. I think I almost grappled into it. Uh oh, let's get the next batch ready, if we even need it. Oh, this is beautiful. This is so much better. I can't even see what's going on because all the chunks of his meat on the ground. Dude, the fight's practically over. That's the last piece. Oh my gosh, don't despawn. Don't despawn. Don't despawn. Bro, and the boulders are breaking. Perfect. It doesn't get more perfect than that. That fight was easy. Alright guys, so eventually we need an area to actually put our statues that we're getting now, because we're actually killing bosses. I think we're gonna make like maybe a museum, or just, you know, we'll make a display area for these eventually. Alright guys, now that fight is finally out of the way, we can turn our spider farm back into what it used to be. But if you remember, there was a problem with this where cobwebs weren't spawning in the open and only near the edges, so we still needed to figure out a way to fix that. And my first idea was actually to use active stone blocks. Active stone. Because they're basically blocks, and I thought maybe they would still be able to spawn cobwebs while not getting in the way of any of the traps or boulders or items that are falling down. But that didn't seem to do anything. It didn't work, unfortunately. So my solution was just cutting the farm in half, which gives more room for these cobwebs to actually spawn. Okay, I see a little girl here. That probably needs some saving. Oh, I forgot. In the very beginning of the series, I made my character with an ugly ass haircut with the intention of finding this girl and like having to find her as a goal so I could change my hairstyle.
Damn, I messed up. We gotta go bald, fam.
Bro. We're covering it up anyway, so we just lost a bunch of money. But because we were losing space, I also wanted to extend my farm, so I went to see how far dart traps can actually shoot and just make my farm that long. But as I was going here, the dart traps just really didn't stop. Like, they just kept going. So, I mean, I had to cut it off at some point. I have to keep going. Okay, no, seriously, for real, I did actually stop at some point because we more than doubled the farm and the dart traps just kept going. I'm pretty sure there's a point where they despawn or break. But now we doubled the length of our farm and I started filling that all in. And now that our farm is split in half, the boulder doesn't actually reach the bottom layer, but that's fine. I just added minecart tracks so I could go from the bottom layer to the top layer and collect up all the loot. Also, I'm not sure if I'm the only person who didn't know this, but if you hammer like the intersection, you can actually like change the type of block it is. I'm not a minecart guy, okay? I didn't know that. I'm learning. But now that our farm was back in action, I decided to just AFK for 20 minutes and see how good this farm was. Alright, so it's been just about 20 minutes and we got 97. Oh, they're still trickling in. 100. Not too shabby. I feel like me probably expected it to generate way more. And it kind of does. There's just a mechanic in the game where cobwebs that spawn on spider walls only drop 1/4 of the time that you break them. So if that wasn't a mechanic, we would have got 400 cobwebs. And also in 1.4.5, the new Terraria update, they're adding vertical conveyor belts and hoppers. So I'm just thinking like the amount of things I can do with that in this farm will be crazy. I could probably get just like 1,000 cobwebs delivered to my base every 20 minutes. That is gonna gonna be crazy. And they'll just be in my chest too, because of hoppers. They'll just be in my storage. And I actually plan to do exactly that, basically. I have a little bit of a project in mind. I'm not gonna say the name yet, but it involves mining out a huge area and just making a bunch of farms. And we'll probably start that in the next episode, as well as taking out Queen Bee by using the Dungeon Guardian or hard mode statues, one of the two. But I think for now, this is gonna be the end of the first episode. Thank you for watching.